Good day traders, welcome back to another weekly market fix. My name is John Jacobs for RMDTRADER and I'm here to bring you the latest high probability trade setups from across the market. In this week's video we are looking at opportunities from 6 FX pairs along with a look at what to expect from Bitcoin. Here we have just a brief look at our disclaimer before we will be jumping right in. Today we are starting by looking at the EURUSD. This is the same example that we used on our two-part series explaining our new 5-phase trend evaluation method. And as we have previously pointed out, we have now entered phase 3 of this trend for the EURUSD to the downside, and that happened as soon as market structure was broken to the downside. At this stage, we were expecting a pullback towards perhaps that 50 SMA, but re-looking at market structure at this stage, I think it would be more likely that we will pull back towards this area at 1.177, as that is the same area where we had our break of price structure. This also coincides with the monthly S1 pivot, so that would be a good opportunity to get short again of the market with a target using this bearish channel projected downwards through these lower swing points. That would give us a short target of 1.160. Of course, then we expect the market to pull back again to retest structure. This could then probably be in the vicinity of 1.172. And from there, we will then expect the market to continue to move lower, retesting structure. And we will continue to follow this trend as it emerges and progresses. The next market is that of the GBPUSD. The GBPUSD has now entered into our trend evaluation phase 1, and that happened as it has now broken below the 200 SMA. And also for some additional confirmation, we can see that we've also broken below price structure. We are still waiting for additional confirmation, and that is we need this 200 SMA to move in between that 150 SMAs, and it does appear that we could see that happening in the next week or so. This means simply that we could continue to see the market move lower towards this area of support, especially in the vicinity of our support zone here at 1.344. From there, I expect we will likely see a pullback for price structure in the vicinity of 1.36544. And at this point, we would likely have seen the 50 SMA move below the 200 SMA, bring us into that Goldilocks zone where we then expect the market to move into market phase 2. And from there, we can then continue to track the trend for for possible future moves to the downside. We will now look at Australian dollar USD. The Australian dollar USD has now entered into trend evaluation phase 3 as it has broken through price structure support from this diagonal. And from here we can see the price has sold off quite aggressively. It has now reached support. There is some additional support a bit lower down at 0.702. Now, it's possible that price moved down as low as that before perhaps retesting structure resistance, in this case sitting at 0.7258, very close to our monthly S1. But best to, I'd say, rather wait for that pullback to see where we get our new opportunity to short the market. What we could do in instances like this is we can wait for the market to turn and then use our Fibonacci tool. Just drawing the Fibonacci tool from the current low to the previous swing high, we can see that we have our Fibonacci levels on the screen here. We can see there's a 38.2 level at 0.722 and a 50% pullback at 0.726. But in a situation where we have moved lower towards that area, we can see that we have a better idea of where we could expect that pullback to be happening and where we can get a new opportunity to short that market. Looking now at the NZDUSD, it has also now entered phase 3 of this trend, and that also happened as it broke through the lower diagonal support of market structure. And just looking at some additional market structure information, we can see we had some market structure over there as well, and that has also been broken now, so definitely a move into trend phase 3. We are still expecting, of course, that pullback to retest price structure in the vicinity of 0.693. And when that happens, that will then perhaps afford us a great opportunity, very good risk-reward based opportunity for a new short into the direction of our trend. At this stage, it's too soon to tell whether we will have that reversal as yet, as there is still some additional support from this very strong level of support at about 0.676 to about 0.677. So I'd rather wait for additional confirmation before saying this is where the market will turn. But as you know, we usually prefer taking trades in the direction of the trend, usually after that retest of market structure. The next market we'd like to look at is the USDCAD. The USDCAD has had an interesting run recently. We can see that it entered into trend phase 4, and that is where we started seeing our maturation phase, but it has very aggressively broken above the 200 SMA at this stage, creating a new high, which is not in line with a move lower. So at this stage, I suspect this could be a possible phase 1. Of course, we do wait for trend confirmation, and that is where we expect our 50 SMA to move above our 200 SMA, bringing that 200 SMA in between the 50 and the 100. Of course, at this stage, it does look like we have found some resistance from this area over here, and I'll just quickly draw that out for you. So we can see it does seem that we did find some resistance from this area where we had our previous structure support, which of course now turned resistance. And also just looking at those swing highs over there and there, we can see that area is now being rejected, and there's a good chance that the market will pull back towards this area of support near the 200 SMA at 1.256, and from there I suspect that there could be a great opportunity to get long in line with the direction of a trend and hopefully move into that trend evaluation phase 2. Moving on to the USDCHF. The USDCHF has also entered into trend evaluation phase 3, and that happened after it broke through this diagonal resistance. Currently it is struggling to get its footing, but so far it's trading above all these moving averages. And of course, I'd say if we can get back above the monthly R1, which is at 0.920, there would be a great chance for us to start looking for new highs. And for that to happen, of course, we need to take out those previous highs in the vicinity of 0.9256, affording us that great new long opportunity. Finally, let's conclude by looking at one of our cryptocurrencies, and the most famous one at that, Bitcoin. Bitcoin, a bit of an interesting character at this stage. Just looking at the daily time frame, it did initially appear as if we started approaching or entering into a bearish trend where it broke below the 200 SMA and stayed there for quite a while, even the 200 moving in between the 50 and 100, of course giving us confirmation with a break of structure and everything. What is interesting here is that we can see that it did not continue down, because as we would expect the market to reject this area of our 100 SMA if it were to continue down, but instead it broke upwards, currently testing very strong resistance from our monthly R2 and that previous area of support at 50,000. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens this week. But if this area gets rejected and it starts selling off quite aggressively, that could end up being a very effective bull trap, meaning price could push down very much, quite a bit lower actually, and I'm suspecting a move towards the yearly R1 at 37,000 to be a very high probability play at this stage. But yeah, so just keep an eye out for rejection at this stage. If it does, find support from the yearly R1 and continues to move back up, we will reevaluate this trend to see if it turns back into a bullish trend. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed our new format and would like to stay updated on new videos, please consider liking this video and also subscribing to this channel. Until next time, trade smart and trade successful.